Good morning, children. So last class we have studied about metals and non-metals, the properties of metals and non-metals. Then we studied about ionic compound, ionic bond, ionic compound, properties of ionic compound that we have studied. So in this class, we are going to study about the chemical properties of metal. Chemical properties of metal. So usually metal reacts with water, reacts with water, reacts with air, reacts with acid. So some they don't react with water, normal water. They react with steam water. Like that, there are certain changes in it. So metal reacts with oxygen. Metal reacts with acids. So metal react with one more metallic ionic compound. All that or steam if it takes. So metal usually when they are exposed to air, they start reacting. They start reacting. Some metals are there, they don't react, like gold, silver. Their reactivity is very less. Metal. Normal temperature, normal condition, they do not react. Like this, they usually do. Let's take, see, metals have shining surface. Shining surface actually. Shining surface. When they react with when they react with other chemicals, they lose their shining nature. If you take sodium, sodium is a soft metal. I told yesterday. If I cut the sodium, we can cut the sodium by knife itself. When you cut the shine, we can see the shining nature. If you kept that metal for some time in the air, so it reacts with air to form sodium oxide. Sodium oxide. And it changes its color, it loses its shining nature. Sodium, see, when it exposed to air, it becomes Na2O. See, this is a, or magnesium if it reacts with oxygen, it forms MgO. So this reaction we have seen in the first chapter, burning. So when you burn, when you heat, heat magnesium in flame in the presence of oxygen become magnesium oxide. To take copper, copper also reacts with oxygen to form copper oxide. Copper oxide. All this reaction you have learned. So whenever a metal reacts with oxygen under a certain condition, they react with the oxygen to form their respective oxide. Their respective oxide. What type of oxide is that? These are all are we have already learned in acid base chapter. These are all basic oxide. These are all basic oxide. Basic oxide. Basic oxide dissolve in water to become a base. Basic oxide dissolve in water to form base. See, these all are they dissolve in water, they become a base. So this is about the basic oxide and how the metal reacts with air, especially oxygen. Similarly, if you take reaction of metal with water. So here how it reaction happens here. Here, if you take sodium, sodium is a metal which reacts vigorously with a flame. So vigorously, if you put the sodium in water, immediate reaction start. Immediate reaction start with a and liberates hydrogen gas. Vigorous reaction means it is a very dangerous reaction. So sometimes heat is so much liberated that the glass beaker or watch glass may break. So that's what vigorous reaction it is. Fast, very fast reaction here. Here also it becomes Na2 H2. Later on it becomes NaOH only. So if we complete this reaction, it becomes H2O. It becomes NaOH only. So means sodium hydroxide is formed. Sodium hydroxide is formed. This is how the metal reacts actually with water. So at means cold water also it reacts. In cold water, no any condition required. No any condition. We are not providing any condition here. Cold water. Cold water also the metal. Some metals will react. This one. Some metal will never react with cold water. Right? They never react. So I hope you have written this. So all this is there in the textbook. Go through the textbook. Then reaction of metal in hot water or boiling water. Boiling water. Usually magnesium. Magnesium reacts with water. What type of water? Boiling water. Boiling water. Boiling water. MgOH twice it becomes. Plus H2 is liberated. H2 is liberated. Magnesium, it reacts with magnesium reacts with boiling water, not with cold water. Cold water, there no reaction happens. No reaction happens here. We'll show you. So I'll put a video of practical session of this chapter and basis chapter. That we'll collaborate both the chapter and do one practical session, and I'll upload in YouTube. Kindly go through that video, and you can have the practical knowledge of this one. So this is how it reacts. Similarly, calcium, if it is, calcium reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide. Plus here also H2 is liberated. But here what happens is calcium, calcium, this is a beaker containing water. When you put calcium over here, what happens is the reaction start. This is calcium. What happens is the hydrogen gas which is liberated, they will stuck with calcium. They stuck with calcium, and the calcium start boiling. Means they start floating. Calcium start floating. Calcium during this reaction, calcium starts floating because of the H2 liberated, which sticks in this calcium metal. So that's why they start floating. This is how the metal reacts with boiling water. This is there in the textbook. Go through the textbook. If you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask. This is how the metal reacts with water. So some metal, so if you take some metal, they don't react with cold water, they do not react with hot water, boiling water, but they react in the presence of steam. As you know that steam is more dangerous than cold water. The burning caused by the hot water is less severe compared to the steam. Steam, if small amount of steam, if it touches the hand or any body tissue, so you will have the burning sensation. If too much of steam we so some steam we come across, or when we touch steam directly, you will have a lot of burning, severe burning will happen. So like that, if it why that happen, because it contains that much of heat energy. So you learned last year in the second chapter. So some metals they actually react with steam. So there is a diagram for that. Go through the diagram. It's a very important diagram also. So figure number 3.16. 3.16. Action of steam on metal. Action of steam on metal. So rough diagram I have done here. This is a glass bowl which contains water. Which contains water. Here we have to take the metal which has to be, the steam has to pass. Steam has to pass. See, so we have to provide heat over here. So when we provide heat over here to this glass bowl, the steam is formed. The steam is formed over here. Steam is formed. Actually, the steam reacts. If you take aluminium H2O. So steam is nothing but H2O. It reacts. It reacts to form Al2O3 plus H2 is liberated. H2 is liberated. See, in the presence of steam only this reaction happens actually. So when this reaction happens, what happens is the H2 liberated. H2 is liberated here. H2 which is liberated, it is passed through this delivery tube and it is collected in this collecting jar. So here we collect the hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is collected over here. This is how the metal reacts with the steam. So one more reaction, Fe plus H2O becomes Fe3O4 plus H2 is liberated. See. So this is the reaction which happens here. So usually some of the metal they do not react with water under normal condition. They react in the presence of steam. In the presence of steam, they react and hydrogen gas will be liberated. This hydrogen gas we can test it by burning splinters. So we can test. So this is how the metal usually reacts with water in the form of steam. So some of the metal, if you take, they do not react at all with the normal water. They react with special conditions. These are the special conditions which we provide during the reaction. I hope you have understood the concept. We'll go to the next, that is a reaction of acid with a metal. Reaction of metal with acid. So if you take any reaction, so if you take aluminum reacts with HCl. Whatever the metal, when metal actually reacts with HCl, hydrochloric acid, so it forms AlCl3 plus H2 is liberated. H2 is liberated here. So means when any metal react with the HCl, chlorides are formed. Chloride. See, this is aluminum chloride. If in case of zinc, it is zinc chloride. Usually chlorides are formed. If any metal reacts with the HCl acid, so it forms respective chlorides. If it is aluminum chloride happens. If it is zinc chloride happens. That depends on what type of metal we are taking. So when any metal reacts with acid, that is HCl, hydrochloric acid, respective chlorides are formed. So similarly, if you take reaction of metal with acid, which has said H2SO4. H2SO4. If you take H2SO4, Zn react with H2SO4, so it forms ZnSO4 plus H2. All then you know the reaction to write. I told you how to write the reaction already in the first chapter. So Zn reacts, Zn displaces. See, zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. So hydrogen is displaced over here. Displacement and reaction happens. ZnSO4 happens. So H2 is liberated. This is the reaction happens. So here, see, sulfate is formed. When it is sulfuric acid, sulfates are formed. Zinc sulfate is formed. If you take magnesium, sulfates are formed. Like this, usually sulfates are formed. So if you with concentrated acids, it is more concentrated, then the product will change in case of sulfuric acid. So here what happens? Oxide forms. I will tell you that. So this is how the metal reacts with the hydrochloric acid as well as H2SO4. See, some of the metal they do not react. They do not react with acid, like copper do not react with acid. If it reacts with concentrated copper, nitric acid, but it do not react with H2SO4. So usually that happens actually. So if I have any doubt, you can ask now. So I told you about the reactivity series. That reactivity series you have to remember. I told you on coding to remember the reactivity series. I hope you are remembering that. Please don't call me that one. So that you remember, you can easily remember the reactivity series. So, Bhuvana, why calcium floats? Say, calcium, I told you during the explanation, I told you bubbles will actually stick to the calcium. The hydrogen bubbles which are formed during the reaction will stick to the calcium, and volume becomes the density become low. That's why they come and float actually. Air bubbles, the hydrogen bubbles are formed. So it is there in the textbook. Go to the textbook. You will come to know. I hope you are remembering that coding. I think, no. So go through that. Say reactivity series. You have to remember here in this case, because some of the reaction will never happen. Why? That is the reason. Reactivity series. Some are more reactive, some are less reactive. That's why they cannot displace each other. They cannot displace each other. See, reaction of reaction of say a reaction of metal with nitric acid. Say nitric acid. HNO3. So some metal react with this acid. But usually when acids reacts with metal, hydrogen gas is liberated. Hydrogen gas will be liberated. But in this case, if we take hydrogen gas is not liberated here. Hydrogen gas will be not liberating here. So here what is liberated we'll see. Say copper, if it reacts with HNO3, so here copper definitely displaces. Displacement happens, but here hydrogen will be not displaced actually. So why I tell you it happens. See, copper reacts with HNO3, it forms a copper nitrate. Copper nitrate is formed. See, nitrate is formed. So whenever a metal reacts with the HNO3, nitric acid, nitrates are formed. Nitrates are formed. This is common. Nitrates are formed. So in case of say concentrated acid, it's concentrated acid. I told you what is concentration. When the amount of water is less in the acid, that is called as more concentrated acid. So dilute acid means what? If you pour the water to that, so like 10 ml of acid is there. If you put 90 ml of water, that is dilute acid. So very less amount of water is there means concentrated acid. If it reacts with concentrated acid, what happens is here in the reactant side you get the NO3 plus H2O. Here, I will show you this reaction in the practical session. Say, rub this. I am going to write this here only. Plus NO2 plus H2O. See here. So here hydrogen is not displaced. Hydrogen actually not liberated here. In case of hydrogen, oxides are liberated. Oxides are liberated. So why? Because nitric acid is a good oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. It produces oxides. Not with all metal. In some metals, this reaction happens actually. So this is how actually the copper reacts with HNO3 to form copper nitrate. Copper nitrate and NO2 and H2. Brown gas will be liberated. Brown gas. The NO2 is a brown gas. Brown gas will be liberated. Brown colored gas. So I'll show you this reaction. This is how the metal reacts with the acids. So if I have any doubt, you can ask now. So go through the reactivity series. So that coding, I hope you remember. Please stop calling me a cute zebra. I like her calling smart guy. If you remember this coding, you can easily remember the what are the metals. So please stop calling. Please means potassium. Stop means sodium. If you take last, smart guys. Smart means silver. Guy means gold. Say the gold and silver are less reactive. In between, hydrogen comes. I like her. I like her calling. I like her. Her is hydrogen. Whatever the metals which come after the hydrogen are less reactive. Less reactive. Why I am telling this is because some of the metal will react with some metallic salts. Metallic salts. Metallic salts they react. So one reaction we have seen that. So copper sulfate. When we put a metal iron to the copper sulfate, the reaction happens actually. That reaction. Reaction of metal with metallic salts. Say one reaction we have seen that one only will take. Fe means iron. When it reacts with copper sulfate solution, so what happens? So this is more reactive. This is less reactive. Copper is less reactive. This displacement reaction happens over here. It forms FeSO4. FeSO4 plus copper is liberated here. Like this reaction happens actually. This is reaction of metals with metallic salts. Metallic salts. The displacement reaction. So this is how the reaction happens. If you have any doubt in this, you can ask now. So one more example you can give, like AgNO3. AgNO3 reacts with copper. AgNO3 reacts with copper. Here. So copper is less reactive, more reactive compared to silver. So displacement happens here. So it becomes copper nitrate plus Ag is liberated. Ag is liberated. So these are the reaction which happens actually. So balance the reaction if it is not balanced. I hope you are getting my punch. This is how actually the reaction happens. This is the chemical nature of or chemical properties of metal. Metal, how it reacts with water. Metal, how it reacts with oxygen. Metal, how it reacts with reacts with acid, it may be dilute or dilute or like concentrated, how it reacts. Some of the metal reacts with the cold water, some reacts with boiling water, some react with the steam. All that we have studied now. So go through the reactions. So they ask the reactions here. Go through the reactions. Read the textbook. I don't know how much concept will be removed from this lesson. We have studied everything. So if after the reduced syllabus, if we get the reduced syllabus from the department, we are going to revise that again. Now we are going to study everything, but after when we get the reduced syllabus, we will reduce that and we will concentrate what is necessary for the exam. For the exam purpose, what is necessary, we will do it. And the exam is, say FA1 is announced already. Prepare. So 2 chapters will be there for the exam test. So first chapter and second chapter. Revise for the exam.